Top 5 best natural remedies that stop hair loss and rebuild thinning hair fast. Most people treat their hair, the strand, the part they can see. But here's what almost nobody knows. By the time a hair falls out, the damage was done months earlier. Deep in the scalp, at the tiny root where that hair was born. No shampoo fixes that. Today, I'm sharing 5 natural ingredients, most of them already in your kitchen, that work exactly where the problem starts. Number 1 is rosemary. Most people think it's just for cooking. Almost nobody knows what it does to the scalp. Your scalp has a natural process that slowly causes your hair roots to shrink. When a root shrinks, the new hair that grows back comes in thinner and weaker. Rosemary has active compounds that block that shrinking right at the source. When you apply it to your scalp, those compounds go straight to the root, before the damage gets any worse. It also calms irritation in the tissue around each root, and it helps blood reach those roots more easily, so they stay active and strong. Here's how to use it. Mix 3 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil into 1 tablespoon of a plain oil. Olive oil or coconut oil both work well. Apply it to your scalp and massage gently for 2 to 3 minutes. Leave it on for at least 30 minutes, then wash as normal, 3 to 4 times a week. If you'd rather skip the oil, brew a strong rosemary tea. Take a good handful of fresh or dried rosemary and boil it in 2 cups of water. Let it cool all the way down. After washing your hair, pour it over your scalp and leave it in. Don't rinse it out. Both work the same way. The oil is stronger. The tea is easier to do every day. One thing to know. If you take blood thinners, check with your doctor before using rosemary oil on a regular basis. Rosemary works right at the source, slowing the damage before it has a chance to take hold. The next ingredient goes somewhere rosemary simply can't reach. The second one might genuinely surprise you. It's caffeine, not to drink, to put directly on your scalp. Most people only think about what's happening outside the hair root. But there's a second problem happening inside. The same thing that shrinks the root from the outside also sends a stop signal from inside the root cell itself. When you apply caffeine to your scalp, it pushes back against that inside signal. It activates a growth signal inside the root cell, one that keeps the root in the growing phase longer and delays the shedding phase. So rosemary works from the outside. Caffeine works from the inside. Same problem. 2 completely different angles. That's why they work so well together. Here's what to do. Brew a strong cup of plain black coffee. Let it cool all the way down. Never apply anything warm to the scalp. Apply it section by section using your fingertips or a cotton pad. Massage gently for 2 minutes. Leave it on for 5 to 10 minutes. Then rinse. 3 to 4 times a week, right before your regular wash. Plain brewed coffee is all you need. Nothing special required. Caffeine closes the gap that rosemary leaves open, working from inside the root itself. Have you ever tried putting coffee on your scalp? Drop a comment below. I'd genuinely love to hear your experience. Number 3 works in a completely different way from both of the first 2. And it's the one most people skip because of one small inconvenience. It's onion juice. I know. The smell. Most people stop right there. That is a big mistake. Your scalp can stay quietly irritated for years without any sign of it. No redness, no itching. Just a slow, silent breakdown of the signals your roots need to keep growing. When you apply onion juice to the scalp, the natural compounds in it calm that deep irritation down. When the irritation is reduced, your roots get a cleaner signal to grow. It also delivers sulfur, a basic building block of the protein your hair is made from. So it calms the problem and gives your scalp raw material to build new hair at the same time. A formal study applied onion juice to people who were losing hair. Most of the group saw real, measurable new growth. The group using plain water saw almost none. The difference was clear. Here's how to do it. Blend half a raw onion and strain the juice through a clean cloth. Apply it to your scalp with a cotton ball, focusing on where thinning is most noticeable. Leave it on for 30 minutes, then wash your hair well. 2 to 3 times a week is the right amount. If your scalp is sensitive, mix equal parts onion juice and aloe vera gel before applying. Same results, much gentler. The smell is completely gone after washing. And this is the ingredient with the most direct human research behind it on this entire list. The first 3 work at the root directly. The next 2 make sure everything you've just applied actually gets there and stays protected. Now, number 4, ginger. Most people think of ginger as a general hair booster. That sells it short. Every ingredient on this list travels through tiny blood vessels under your scalp to reach the root. When those vessels are sluggish, even good things don't get through the way they should. When you apply ginger to your scalp, it opens up those blood vessels. More blood gets through. And when more blood gets through, everything your roots need arrives more completely and more reliably. Ginger also blocks a separate signal linked to root weakening, one that works through a different path from what rosemary targets. It isn't doing the same job, it's covering a gap the other ingredients leave open. Grate a piece of fresh ginger and press the juice out through a clean cloth. Apply it directly to your scalp before washing. Leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes, then shampoo as normal. Or simmer a few slices of fresh ginger in water for 10 minutes. Let it cool all the way down. And use that liquid as a scalp rinse after washing. Twice a week is enough. A mild tingling when you apply it is completely normal. It means blood flow is picking up exactly the way it should. Ginger doesn't do the primary work. It makes sure the primary work actually gets delivered. And the last one on this list has a completely different job from all the others. Vitamin E. It doesn't stimulate anything. Its job is to protect. Every single day, your scalp takes in small amounts of invisible damage. From sunlight, from the air, from normal processes inside the body. Over time, that damage builds up inside the root itself and disrupts the signals that tell it when to grow and when to rest. Vitamin E acts as a shield for the root cell. When it's present, that daily damage does far less harm to the root. A formal study found that people using vitamin E had about a third less hair shedding after 8 months, compared to a group using a plain oil with no active ingredients. That gap only grows the longer you stay consistent. The other 4 ingredients actively restore the root environment. Vitamin E protects that environment from being quietly worn down every day. Without it, you're rebuilding something that keeps getting damaged from the outside. The easiest way to add it Open one vitamin E capsule and mix the oil into the plain oil you're already using for rosemary. Same step. No extra time, no extra cost. You're just adding a protective layer to what you're already doing. Vitamin E is what makes the rest of this last. Now, let's bring all 5 together. Rosemary slows the process that causes your roots to shrink, working right at the source. Caffeine pushes back against the shutdown signal from inside each root cell. Onion juice calms the silent scalp irritation that quietly breaks down the growth cycle. Ginger opens up blood flow, so every other ingredient actually reaches the root. And vitamin E protects the entire root environment from the daily wear that would undo everything else. 5 ingredients, 5 different jobs, 1 shared goal. This won't happen overnight. Hair grows slowly. Real changes take months, not days. But here's what changes right away. You stop working on the wrong thing. The strand is the result. The root is where everything is decided. Small, steady habits. In the right place. Done consistently. That's what builds something real over time. You have more control over this than most of what you've seen has ever given you credit for. And now you know exactly where to start. If this is the kind of content that helps you take better care of yourself, you're in the right place. This channel is built for people who want real answers. Natural, practical, and grounded in how the body actually works. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. We'll keep showing up for you.